supportive team. Let's hear whether we have any apologies. The speaker obviously is out at the IPU, so her apology is given. Any other apologies we should note?
Deputy Speaker, we have the apology of House Chairperson Frolic, Deputy Chief Whip Flagude, Dr. Mulder, and Mr. Heron. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. No, thank you very much. Are there any other apologies? If not, let's proceed to consideration of the agenda. Proposal for acceptance or amendment of the agenda?
Chapter moves to the adoption.
Thank you, Honorable Mazzoni. Any seconder?
My hand is up, Deputy Speaker. Good morning. I second. My name is Pemi Matudina.
Good morning and welcome, Honorable Pemi Matudina, Chief Whip of the Majority Party. Seconds, and the agenda is agreed to. We move to 2 minutes. Corrections there on the first page, honorable members.
Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Singh.
Yeah, good morning to you and to all the colleagues, including admin. I'm quite sure I attended my apology for that meeting. I don't see it recorded. To Mr. Mbanga.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let it be corrected. Let's proceed. Yeah, thank you. Any other corrections?
Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Sheikh.
In the chair, good morning to you, sir. In the Chief Whip meeting yesterday, we resolved to address the acting SG Secretary to Parliament as Baby Tio. I don't know if you want to correct that, Deputy Speaker. We thought we must have the word baby.
No. She reserved the right to give us what we must tell her, what we must call her. Okay. All right. Any other correction on the minutes? Please proceed. No corrections. Any member moves for the adoption of the minutes?
Sheikh Imam moves.
Okay. Sheikh Imam moves with the amendment as proposed earlier. Any seconder?
I raise my hand. I'm not sure whether we've waived the right for one to raise a hand. We must shout at this platform. I'm trying to be orderly, raising hand. I'm not recognized. Mr. Sheikh Imam shouts and get recognized.
Honorable Matudina, I guess it's the gadget that I'm using here because I have to open this thing to be able to see that. But it's okay, I have it open now. Let's see. You second the adoption of the minutes, and we appreciate your seconding it. Thank you very much. No need to shout. It's too early anyway. Yeah, okay. Okay, now let's move to the next matter. Matters arising. Ndate Klaso, and on Honorable Majodina, do you have a list of are you going back to your job now? Do you have a list of matters arising there?
I'm happy to.
No, I was relieved of that duty by Honorable Papo that Honorable Mr. Klaso will do it.
Okay, no. Papo does a good job now and then. Okay, he gives you relief. I mean, that's interesting. He's very favorable to his chief whip. Yeah.
Deputy Speaker and honorable members, the issues that we have that were raised, the motions of no confidence are going ahead next week on the 30th. But we just need to make the point that the court case initiated by the AGM, for now we know it's scheduled for the 28th of March until there are changes there. And we have not had anything to the contrary. And the Zondo Commission Part 3 report, the Speaker indicated that she had received a communication from the President indicating that Part 3 was available, and that communication from the President has since been published in the ATC, and Speaker is receiving advice, both procedural and legal advice, on how to process Part 3 of the Zondo Commission report. The matter of alternative venue for the NA, the matter is receiving attention at the level of the Chief Whips Forum, and it will soon be in front of the Executive Authority, and from there we will then hear how the matter will be processed. The Lotteries Board nominations for chairperson, the report was revived by the House and referred back to the committee for further consideration. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. There are matters arising. Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, and thank you for the report.
I see your hand, and it's not because you are from KZN. I just happened to notice your hand. So, no, Honorable Majordina must not say there's a bias on my part.
Well, if there is, well, we're brothers in arms. So, yeah, no, thank you for the report that was presented by Honorable, by Mr. Kaso. I just want to know, with this court case being on the 28th of March, and supposing the court has to rule that we go the route of secret ballot, can the table refresh all our memories with a secular or something on how it would work virtually if we are forced by court to go on a secret ballot? Thank you.
Yeah. That's very interesting speculation, but very unlikely. The court has previously said this is our job. It will be our job. They won't do that. But nevertheless, let's give to Ndade Kaso procedurally.
Deputy Speaker, at this point, our virtual platform is not able to run a secret ballot. And so if a decision were to be that, assuming that it were to be that there must be a secret ballot, the Speaker would then have to decide or give a directive on how to proceed with the matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, yeah, thank you. Honorable Papu?
My understanding is that if the court decides and we don't have a virtual mechanism, as Mr. Carson says, the Speaker will have to decide, and one of them will be to postpone the sitting. But as you say, speculation may not help us. But from what you just said, may have to postpone the thing, and then we do it when we come back.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Except to point out that I agree that perhaps the underlying point Honorable Singh is making is that we must be prepared, whatever outcome is, which is correct. Honorable Mkalipi?
Enkosi, Deputy Speaker, I just want to be clarified. If the matter is sitting on the 28th and the debate is scheduled on the 30th, if there is no decision, if there is no judgment on the 28th, what will happen?
Okay.
Deputy Speaker, I would prefer that we defer it to the Speaker to indicate what will happen. I mean, the motion belongs to the one to the ATM, and the other is the DA's motion. So the parties might want to decide how they proceed with those motions. The motion can always be withdrawn, has been postponed before. So At this point, it's difficult to speculate what will happen, but I'm sure by end of business on Tuesday, there will be a direction in that regard. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Machodina and Honorable Mazoni afterwards.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, let me concur with Mr. Castle that at the moment, we don't know. And Parliament is not interdicted. And if there is, my understanding is that if there is no judgment on 28, we have to proceed on how we have planned to deal with those motions, not unless there is a 10 from court. At the moment, there's nothing that stops us not to continue on the 30th. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Mazoni.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I would just like to raise the fact that I have on numerous occasions written to the National Assembly table explaining in great detail the way the OPA system works, the OPA vote system works, which is the online platform voting system, which was used in more than one DA Congress, one Congress having almost 3,000 members on the Congress. It is the most simple and effective online platform voting system used. It has been used around the world. It cost virtually nothing. And I would just like to voice my disappointment that we are asked to raise and to submit ideas and suggestions to the table, but it seems that these are filed in file number 13, otherwise known as the dustbin, because we never get a reply on it. They say thank you very much for your suggestion, and then nothing ever happens on it. There are ways in which secret ballots are conducted the world over, and it is hard for me to believe that after all the information that I've given to the National Assembly table, after all the letters that I've written to the Speaker, that we now sit less than a week away and we are still contemplating what will happen on the 28th. We cannot prejudge, and I don't like the fact that there was a giggle that it was prejudged that the court would find the secret ballot would be allowed. The courts are allowed to find whatever they like to find, and that is their right. It's not up to us to prejudge, and there is a very good chance that the court finds that there should be a secret ballot. There are many tests that the court will use, but I don't like the fact that we are unprepared, even though a specific party, and it could be me, it could be any other party, that has submitted a very optimal voting system that's been used the world over, and apparently that has not even been considered. So I now wonder if I just waste my time when I'm asked whether or not there'll be a chance for parties to be heard, because clearly we are not being heard. And I'd like to voice my discontent at that. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mazoni. Ndade also will tell you how you are wrong in thinking you are not being heard. Honorable Nabuyumzi.
Morning, Deputy Speaker and colleagues.
Goeiemorgen, Kwankwa.
Siyavana kule platform, Deputy Speaker, kakhulu. Maybe we should always talk on this platform, on this meeting, rather than at the house. In the house, Molwen. Deputy Speaker, I think Honorable Hope Papo actually said it accurately, that we're politicians, we're national leaders, we must be seen to be respecting the court process that is currently underway. Perhaps the most sensible thing to do is to reschedule the motion, while it's up to a political party to move it. But it's still, it's the discretion of the Speaker, obviously, to be able to say when can it be scheduled. Maybe this motion should be scheduled after recess. By then, will be clear as to what the position or what the judgment or the verdict of the court is on this particular matter. Because whatever we do must be informed by the court process, ultimately the outcome of that process. You might find that some parties might also not be happy with the outcome of that process, and that process might lead to an appeal. So it's better that we actually schedule it for after recess. That's my suggestion, so that we allow the court to make its decision, consider that, and factor that decision into whatever process that's going to unfold later. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Honorable Sheikh Imam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I want to concur with the Honorable Kwankwa. This matter is being heard on the 28th, and we know out of experience many of these judgments are reserved. And of course, yes, if it goes any other way to what a particular institution wants, then might go on appeal and things, and it's going to cause chaos for us in terms of being prepared. So the appropriate thing might be to let it come up in the next term, so that we'll have adequate time. Judgment would have been given, and if necessary, if it's now going to be a secret ballot, Parliament will have adequate time to be able to deal with it. So I think to rush it and leave it on the order paper right now, given what is happening, I think it's going to cause us, put us under unnecessary pressure. That is my view. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker.
Okay. Honorable Klasu, honorable members who have spoken before, I'm assuming that you haven't lowered your hands. Can you do so, please, if you are not wanting to speak? Okay, Jade Klasu?
Deputy Speaker, with your permission, I've asked ICT to join the meeting.
Yes.
Because they've been doing a lot of work on the issue of voting secret ballot, and they've also tested the facility proposed by the DA. And I understand at some point there was interaction between our ICT and the DA on the issue. So I've asked the CIO or Mr. Ravi Polia to join, and I'm still just looking for them. If Deputy Speaker will indulge me, maybe later on, even if when we deal with the program, to just say what has been done to date.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
issue of voting.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's. Yes. I thought maybe Honorable Mazoni should have asked, so that she gets to hear what the outcome of the interaction was. But well, let's give Ravi an opportunity later to speak. I see the acting secretary's hand up.
Morning, Deputy Speaker. It was really on the same matter. I wanted to reassure members, Honorable Mazoni, that in fact, ICT has even done some demonstrations within staff and between the NA table staff and the NAPC and the NCOP table staff. And they were at a point where they're going to be piloting these tools with the members. So there has been work done. We did not ignore anything at all. So I was just supporting what Masbulelo was saying. Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker.
Okay. All right. Now you're putting us in a difficult position, but that's fine. Honorable Mkali.
Deputy Speaker, I thought that the Chief Whip of the majority party will come on this issue to remind us, because I think that at some point, including the proposal of the DA, was also engaged in the Chief Whip's Forum. I think that we need to go back to the Chief Whip's Forum if there is a program on the side of Parliament, instead of receiving the comments from the ITC from this platform. Because we as political parties, we even said then, once Parliament have taken a decision on how to proceed with the secret ballot voting in the platform, we need to take it back to our caucuses as well. It's not a matter of getting a presentation at this level and then we can take a decision. So I think this matter can be taken back to the Chief Whip's Forum. So for all members to engage thoroughly and to get information, and after that we can say safely that we can proceed. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Okay, let's just say that we will, Honorable Mkali, I plead with you, let's give Ravi an opportunity to just say, as part of work in progress report, and the process you are outlining will be engaged with as you suggest in both forums, because the authority actually lies with the speaker. Finally, what decision gets made on the process. So we will operate, in other words, give an opportunity to the Chief Whip Forum as you suggest, but yeah, later on we'll give Ravi an opportunity just to, as part of working progress, it helps. I think members have been keen to hear that, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next, that's Ntate Tau, Advocate Tau.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, our presentation starts at slide number 4. On this slide, the PC on Justice and Correctional Services has passed the interim report on the cannabis for private purposes. In this report, the committee is requesting permission to go beyond the scope of the bill. The next update is on slide number 7. On this slide, PC on COCTA has finalized the Local Government Municipal Systems Amendment Bill. The next update is on slide number 8. On this slide, the PC on Transport is continuing with the responses to the President's reservation on National Land Transport Amendment Bill. The next update is on slide number 9. On this slide, we just indicate that the PC on Home Affairs is almost finishing its public hearings in provinces. The committee is currently in Western Cape with regard to Electoral Laws Amendment Bill. The next update is on slide number 10. On this slide, the Standing Committee on Appropriations has finalized the 2022 Division of Revenue Bill. The next update is on number 16. On this slide, the PC on Transport is having briefings on the 22nd. It had briefings on the 22nd with regard to the petition that it was received from Kahlamba local municipality residents. This concludes our reports, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Let's give to the bills report and we'll discuss them together.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker and honorable members. Thank you for the opportunity. With your permission, Deputy Speaker, I'd like to say, with a view to concerns voiced regarding the public's lack of consideration when we report in this committee, I went back and double-checked our systems to see what we could do better. So what I can say is the Bill's office currently has a mailing list with hundreds of subscribers from both the public and private sectors. Every Friday afternoon, Deputy Speaker, the most recently updated documents on bills before Parliament and proceedings on bills are distributed to that group. Furthermore, these 2 reports are posted on Parliament's website every Friday. We ensure that they are always up to date and relevant. And we receive requests for people to be added to this mailing list on a regular basis, which we gladly accept. We are confident that the public's interest in obtaining information on legislation before Parliament is fully considered. If not, Deputy Speaker, we are willing to revisit it to see if there's anything further we can do to accommodate them in full. And with that being said, Honorable Deputy Speaker, today we will just cover again slide 6 on our report, in which the Standing Committee on Appropriations reported on the Division of Revenue Bill, which is currently on the order paper for consideration and second reading debate this afternoon. And for information purposes, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'll report that on the list of bills before Parliament, which is not displayed, in Section D, Item 2, the Select Committee on Trade and Industry reported on the Compensation of Occupational Injuries and Diseases Amendment Bill, which is B21B of 2020, and it's a Section 75 bill. And the committee reported with proposed amendments, which means after consideration of the report by the House, the bill will be referred to the Portfolio Committee on Trade and Industry for consideration and report. That is all from the Bill's office, Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Any comments on the committee and the bills? Honorable Zungulu.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I raised my hand before the presentation from the advocate. It was about the matter concerning the secret ballot. The Office of the Speaker did request parties to communicate with the Speaker on their preferred method of voting so that she makes a determination. Now, the concern I have is that this is the last meeting before the sittings sit to vote on the matter next week, and there's no communication from the Speaker. Now, this will affect the planning in terms of the logistics. How are we going to get the 400 members to be in one setting? Should the Speaker decide it should be a matter of a secret ballot? And secondly, should the Speaker not decide it is a secret ballot and majority of the parties, or if not all of the parties, have indicated that they prefer a secret ballot, then it will be problematic when it comes to getting the views and the representation from the parties. So I thought, Deputy Speaker, that in this meeting, your office, you would come to the meeting and update and brief the meeting on what the Speaker has decided so that we can best move on for next week. Thank you.
Honorable members, I plead that we not engage here. I kept quiet, allowing the member to speak on a matter we have passed, partly because I never saw his hand. I have the screen before me. I can now see all your hands, for example, right now. And I suggest that we will request, I don't have that information, and or if the Speaker had communicated to you to indicate your preference, the Honorable Council would have received that and would have spoken to that matter. I suggest that we skip it. The Speaker will be communicated with to indicate in one direction or another to communicate. In the same manner that she did, we will receive feedback from parties, I would assume. So that would be my request to you, that we not go into it there. I saw the hand of Honorable Machodina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I welcome both presentations from committee section as well as from the bills.
Sorry. Deputy Speaker.
Yes.
No. The reason why I'm sorry, Chief Whip. I see you're already on the presentation. Perhaps what I wanted to say was to say maybe we did not have a clear decision about the motion for next week. Are we going to proceed? Is it going to be postponed due to the court process? I mean, there were different views about how to tackle it. I think we left the matter hanging. That's probably where the confusion comes from. Yeah.
Yes, and
we need leadership with
and the reason is that the Speaker must make the final decision. She will communicate to us and we will communicate to you. That decision is not made by programming, it's made by the Speaker. We plead with you to appreciate that, and we will communicate to her urgently at the IPU when she has finalized her decision. There are probably good reasons why she's not doing so. So we regret that we can't do it now and finalize it. That feedback will be given. Honorable members, I request us to proceed on that understanding. Please, let's not go into it. I plead with you. Thank you. Honorable Chief Whip, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I welcome both reports. I just want to make a plea to committee section. If they could, in our next meeting, not next week, I mean when we come back from constituency, if they could just consolidate the type of these petitions that we're getting. In the main, I've noted that most of the petitions are about electricity, most of the petitions are about water. And the reason why I'm requesting that, Chair, Deputy Speaker, is that maybe at this platform, we must be able to say, what are these concerns that always come through the committee section? How do we then take them forward? But beyond this thing of a petition, can we have an integrated program of dealing with it? I know that when I served in the NCOP 1999 to 2004, because of the nature of the NCOP, you'll go out on a particular matter to meet with the communities, not in a committee section, in a committee delegation, but as Parliament or as a House. So I'm requesting, Chair, that if we can just get a sense where are these petitions coming from all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Are there still any comments on the report? Committee section report and the bills? If none, let's proceed to consider the draft parliamentary program.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker and colleagues. My apology for that. I was just clearing my voice. Having said that, Honorable Deputy Speaker, is that the approach that we will take in presenting this program is a twofold. We'll deal with the current program, and then we'll also table the second quarter program. If that would be in order with you, then it can be engaged simultaneously, both when members engage on them. Chair, in terms of the quarter in question, just to highlight that one, just for consistency purposes, that I would not go time by time, but I'll pick up areas where we think that are worth noting for this meeting. Reason being that it hasn't changed much. In terms of the outside bodies, the only one that I can comment in terms of the International Bodies Diary is that there will be from the 4th to the 8th of April will be the Judicial Services Commission sitting. We are now in week 9, which is today. Is that I will deal with the afternoon as promised in our previous presentations, that today is a hybrid sitting, which will be the consideration of the Division of Revenue Bill and the second reading of the Division of Revenue Bill, and then followed by the communications report on the statutory appointments. And of course, Chair, in terms of the 3-day rule, it has been also been presented before the Chief Whips Forum, which is not a deciding body or a decision body. However, for political parties to note that the Chief Whip of the majority party then will move that motion so that we are able then to deal with the Division of Revenue, because in terms of the of the Portfolio Committee on Communications report on statutory appointments, because they only adopted the report on the first item on Tuesday. So if you calculate, then there is no space for 3 days. Hence, then there will be that need unless this meeting suggests otherwise. May we proceed to week 10? Week 10, thank you. Week 10, Chair, nothing has changed, safe to say that on Wednesday, we will be on the afternoon having a hybrid sitting as planned, notwithstanding what has been discussed, but I'm dealing with the program here, Chair. I hope members would not necessarily be tempted to go back to that.
Good.
So there will be that motion of no confidence in the president in terms of section 102 of the Constitution of the Republic, followed by the draft resolution by the leader of the opposition party, a motion of no confidence in the cabinet in terms of section 102.1 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. So that's it. Let's go to Friday. Then Thursday will be a hybrid sitting at 14 hours, which will be dealing with the oral reply for questions by the Honorable Deputy President. And then it will bring us, Chairperson, Deputy Speaker, to the 4th until the 14th of April, which is the constituency period for members. Thank you very much. Then, Chair, as I indicated, may I then ask the second quarter to be program to be flighted. While it's being flighted, just to remind members that in terms of the international forum diary, it shall be populated as soon as we get the dates which fall within the second quarter. And also to stress a point that the last Thursday of the month will be dedicated for the multi-party women's caucus. We shall then also, Chair, continue try to balance the revived items or reports and the current reports until we reach a stage that there's nothing outstanding from the previous years, as it were. And also in the thirdly is that moving forward, we will have, where possible, hold our meetings or committee meetings or mini plenaries, what's it, in the House, let me use that word, in the House. So it will be both hybrid and also physical sittings, so it will be reflected as such. The last point, which is the fifth point that I would like to highlight, is that we have scheduled also for this second quarter budget votes. So far, we've got 9 votes that has been completed, but they will be scheduled. I'll talk to the program on that. And notwithstanding that, we've got 41 budget votes. However, 34 is being informed by that there are departments that they've got various votes that they tend to represent them after we have agreed in this forum through the proper channels that they must be tabled as one, but for the purpose of voting, then they'll be separated. Let's go then to the actual program, which will be week 11. Week 11, it's indicated as such that is constituent period from the 18th, oversight week. Let's go then to the week 12. And week 12 then is still a leave period for members, but the rationale here is to ensure that members also, they do get time also to do their constituency work and their political work. So we balance parliamentary work and constituency work. Let's go to week 13. It will be week 13. Week 13, which will be in May on the Tuesday. And the standard of this week, I would not necessarily repeat in other weeks, is that Monday, it's a public holiday, obviously, which is the 2nd of May, because the 1st of May falls on the Sunday. On Tuesday will be a normal day for Parliament, which will be dealing with in the afternoon. As I said, I'm not going to deal with the mornings because it's generic. That is member statements, legislation reports that will need to be populated after completed an 80-seat. Then it will be scheduled accordingly, and debate on the Freedom Day and motions without notice and notice of motion. On the following day, which is worth noting here, is in the afternoon, 15 hours, the economic cluster questions for oral reply. Here also, we're saying moving forward, we'll try our level best to advise the due process is that it ensures that we balance the departments where we don't end up only 2 departments or 3, whereas the cluster has got more than 5 departments, so that all departments also find a space to be asked questions in the House for oral reply. Let's move to the Thursday. Thursday is the hybrid sitting, noting what I said earlier on, where applicable, it will be debate for a matter of importance. In the Chief Whip's Forum, we said we are going to look at that, and we said we are going to find a space in the second quarter. We have as a suggestion, that is why it's in red, a debate on matter of national importance, sponsored by Honorable Singh, IFP, the energy crisis and the threat of protracted failure of ESCOM. That will be the debate we are putting there as a suggestion. Then the rest will be populated as we receive the reports and the legislations that needs to be processed in the House. Let's go to the week that deals with the budget votes. Week 14 will be dealing with the budget votes, which will be both the virtual and physical. Will be depending on the schedules of the space. We will then on dealing with vote 1 and 2 on the first day on Tuesday, which we must note that the sittings then will start in the morning for the purpose of processing these votes. Here, vote 1 and 2, the president is worth noting that the president will be in the House for 2 days in this month, and then followed by vote 33, and all the votes will be then indicated accordingly. Other than that, the rest then will be populated as we receive other reports, and then after we've concluded with the votes, then we will deal with the business as usual, it should be work on progress, because it will be populated as we get the reports that have been 80 seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, any comment on the program? It's 2 parts as presented. Dade Klaso?
Deputy Speaker, I just wanted to clarify in respect of the budget votes in May. The reason we are indicating virtual / physical, we have been asked to investigate the possibility of having these debates held physically within Parliament. And by next week, there will be a clear direction in that regard. So we'll provide the information by next week, and then the committee will decide whether they will be virtual or physical. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Boroto?
Thank you.
Honorable Gohube, you'll be next.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, looking at the program, it says at the end on the first term that our constituency period ends the 14th of April, but the next term only indicate matters from the, not from after that week of the 14th, there is nothing. The only indication starts on the 19th. I'm not sure if there is an omission or what.
Okay. Honorable Gohube?
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I just wanted to get clarity from Honorable Lesuma whether or not dates have been set aside for questions to the President, in particular for the second term. I can appreciate that perhaps dates are still outstanding, but I just wanted to find out about questions to the President and the DP as the requirement of once a quarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other question, comment on the program? Okay. Go ahead, Honorable Mainal Soma.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. We will note that next week, in terms of our schedule, was the oversight week, and then because of the voting that needs to be in terms of the both motions from the DA and the other party.
ATM.
Just right. ATM. Oh yeah, because I'm thinking of money now. Then I'm just thinking how to say it. ATM. Then we accommodated that. So the following week, then, which Honorable Boroto is talking to, is the oversight week, which we dedicate for committees to do their oversight. But I would request also Mr. Council just to confirm, but I think I'm correct. In terms of the questions to both the President and the DP, you will note that we'll be dealing with the votes, and the President will be appearing twice. So we will see in communication with the both officers whether is it feasible, because ordinarily the President is supposed to schedule time, which is once in this quarter, which means he will be appearing thrice. But that's why I highlighted that vote 1 and 2, the President will be in the House precisely on that. And but we'll look at that, the possibility, and also follow the rules based on our decisions that we have taken, that are we not over populating them so that they spend more time in Parliament. However, we take the point, and the member or members should note that I said I'm only dealing with the vote and also the skeleton in terms of how the weekly programs is structured. As it will be work in process, it will be populated. But we must note that on the 2nd of June, the Deputy President is there. It's just probably I didn't go further to other weeks, running a risk of repeating myself in other meetings, but I was just giving the highlights. So it is accommodated, and both President and DPs accommodated. Actually, in May, President will appear in twice. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, the program is outlined as presented and responded to questions members have. Any last question? Also, and maybe, yes, the council, go ahead, speak.
Ms. Boltman is here, there's the CIO.
Sorry? Oh, yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Let them speak.
Good morning, Deputy Speaker, and good morning, members. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, Mr. Kauser asked me to provide an update of the activities that has ensued regarding the e-voting system. So from a practical technological perspective, to date we have looked at 65 and assessed 65 electronic voting solutions against the functional criteria that were required by Parliament. And these functional criteria, not only did it include the ability and the capability to do the secret ballot, but we also had to look at the current way that we are working now in terms of the hybrid way and the remote working, that we also needed to look at the single integrated solution. So to date, we also looked at the ease of use of the system, especially for members of Parliament, for the ability for members to access the e-voting solution via a web-based platform where you can just click on the link and you will be able to be requested to do the voting. So thus far, Deputy Speaker, we have presented the solutions. We've presented the analysis of the 65 solutions. We came up with 2 solutions that would meet Parliament's e-voting or electronic voting criteria. It includes the ability to do the open voting as well as the secret ballot voting. It includes the reporting of the results. It includes the immediate reporting of the results. It includes various capabilities and functionalities. What we have also done is presented it to the ICT focus group, which is a representative group of both NA and NCLP members of Parliament. We presented it to the House secretaries. We presented it to their table staff. We have also consistently presented an update to the NA Chief Whips forum in terms of where we are. And yes, we have also assessed the application that was presented, I know, by the DA Chief Whip. where the link was sent to us, and all that was included in the assessment. What we found that the solution that we came up with meets Parliament's requirements, I would say about 90%. It also has a solution that will improve our interpretation capabilities. So, Deputy Speaker, the solution that we looked at not only involved electronic voting per se as well, but it also looked at improving the ability for us and for members to be able to work remotely on the current platform, including all the other capabilities. It was then decided that we pilot this, which we pursued now at the beginning of this financial year, in terms of the procurement processes that we need to do. And we fortunate to say that we are nearing the end of the procurement process, which should be completed by the end of hopefully this week. Thereafter, we will be able to do the technical implementation, and then we would be able to start the training for both members as well as the table staff. It's important to note that this application will be managed in terms of at the back end. So training will be exceptionally critical and crucial for us to do the implementation. The second part is that, and I'm hoping I can say that, but what I did get feedback at especially at the NA Chief Whips, is that members also wanted us to go to the caucuses first, the individual caucuses, and to present the solution to them so that they can also get a feel. I think the biggest thing was once you start doing electronic voting, it's about the trust in the system. And as much as we from a technical perspective can indicate and assure that they would be technically secure, it still comes down to the use of the system, how easy it is to use, and then the trust that the members will have in the system. So, Deputy Speaker, that's all that I can say at this stage. Also, that the House Chairperson, Ms. Honourable Frolik, has requested me this morning. I know he is in Indonesia, to provide an update on the e-voting as well, and I'm submitting that report to him as well. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, this is meant to be a work in progress report as requested. I would imagine because of that being work in progress, we will let the process continue, and we will get feedback once the pilot, as indicated, is complete and the implementation process begins, and the briefing sessions in all the appropriate forums will be done. So thank you very much, Mayor Boltman. Thank you for that input. Honorable members, is there any earth-shattering announcement from any of you?
Yes, Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Boroto.
No, Deputy Speaker, it's not to do with programming, but I think it's an announcement I should make.
Yes, no, we are done with programming.
Yes,
Honorable Soma responded to answer, so it's finished.
I just want to give this announcement that I've been informed by the administration that there is a problem with the buses today because buses are being tortured. 30 members are here. They will get information. We are trying to work on the shuttles to take members to Parliament today. But the issue of buses is a problem. I'm not sure what is happening. So the bus company said they wouldn't be able to come out today and collect members. But we are working on it. There will be something that is happening around 12:30. It might be shuttles just to make members aware. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, members. That's an important announcement. Honorable members, there being no other comment, I declare the meeting closed.
Thank you, DS.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Programming
recording stopped.
Sorry, it's holidays on that week. From the phone.